the challenge is that all these platforms have different media buying platforms. They have different media buying, the way that it works. Like Google's very simple. You bid on a keyword, you show up for it, you pay per click or you pay per phone call. We've tested a lot of these different platforms, and sometimes it's just a flat fee budget. They're like, yeah, $3,000 a month, and you'll show up on top for searches. You get what you get depending on how many people are looking that month.
Yeah,
Other
and
ones,
none of these, rarely is it month to month is another thing to consider.
yeah,
So there's a minimum commitment of like 3 months.
yeah, exactly. So, but like, again, this here, like just like in Google, there is the ads are going to show up on top. These platforms, we live in a in a capitalistic society. Everything here is pay to play for the most part, right? Now, that doesn't mean that there's no value in organic, because all of our data shows here, for example, if somebody is searching for Boca divorce attorney in Google, these get about 15% of clicks. These get about 6% of clicks. And this organic listing here gets 30 to 50% of clicks, and everything else kind of scatters down for the rest, right? So that happens for a number of reasons. One is that people know that these are sponsored. They see it, they're not dumb, and just consumer behavior, we would rather find an organic listing. So it's the same thing in here too, is that these are sponsored. Like we can see it. Again, they do a very good job of trying to hide these. They put this little badge here for sponsored, and they get the little top rated badge here, but you can see 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. So there's a lot, but all down here in 15th, it drops off. So again, with these platforms, a lot of them are pay to play if you want to get to the very, very, very top. However, again, this is a small free thing that you can do. And again, we've started doing this for all of our clients. We have a list of these. We call them aggregators because they're review aggregators. Any platform that you can get reviews on, they're incredibly important. And getting reviews on these platforms too is actually easier than getting on Google. Google is very strict. It's very easy to get reviews declined. We find that getting reviews on these platforms is far, far, far easier. And you'll actually notice here too, they have client reviews. I saw one of them here was peer reviews. Yeah, so this one here is 2 peer reviews, right? So these were actually from other attorneys that he got the reviews from, not necessarily from client reviews. They did.
Yeah, and if you look at these review counts in comparison to Google's, they're typically very low.
Very low.
So it's just a lower barrier than if you have to push a boulder up the hill to get over 100 reviews on Google Business in order to compete with some of the guys that are already up there with that many reviews. It takes way less usually on these platforms to outnumber the existing attorneys.
And you can see that, right? So these first 4 are all sponsored here. That's great, but what do you notice about the guy who's ranking first? He's the only one who actually has reviews on this platform. So I don't think it takes nearly as